Well, the roof is finally defelted and de-nailed, which took me about 3 hours to get every friggin' nail out of the damn thing. As you can see, there's a slight bow in the middle, not surprising with the weight of all the felt and nails that was on it. But we have another little issue. They're only just laid on in position at the minute. So we'll go inside and I'll show you. Right, inside the brew shed. Not quite stitched up yet. We have just laid them in position. Obviously, timbers aren't exactly what you'd call substantial. They have bowed over time and weight. And obviously I've got to climb up part of this to put some nails in. And I don't think somehow, even on a good day, my 90 kilos is gonna not end up inside this shed. So this has got a little bit of a saggy on it. So what I propose to do is attach a beam at the ridge and at that ridge to take the weight of all this and hopefully put it back in a more respectable position so we don't get a sag in the middle and have any problems with the felt splitting on the ridge cap. So I have to find a suitable piece of timber. Okay, so what we've done, there's no fixing point. We've put some plates there to screw into the roof from the side wall section with these plates. Put a joist hanger on a block. And we're putting a beam all the way across to take the weight of the roof and push the sag back out so it's back and straight. So I just got to fix the last hanger here. Just got a dead man prop pushing it all back into place. Job's a good one. Right, so now you can see the beam supporting the crappy substandard shit timbers that they supply with. Crappy substandard shit cheap sheds. Problem solved. For now anyway. Should last me the duration I need. Nice and solid now. Just got to sort this window out next, and those two rotten timbers down the bottom. Okay, so that's the wood replaced at the bottom. Unfortunately I didn't have any 2.4s, I only had 1.6s or 1.8s, so I had to cut 4 down to fit the hole. I have got enough to fill in part of the window if need be, and the roof's all screwed down, so it's just the glass or the windowing to go in now, and some felt. Well, we're getting there, folks. I had some old twin wall polycarbonate sheeting, seen better days, but it will certainly do a good enough turn in this old building. A little bit of mud in it, but considering I wasn't even going to put a window in, I was just going to fill this in. It's good enough. It lets light in, no one can see in, it's private. If there's any unwanted people around there, they ain't going to see what's inside. And if they get as far as inside the garden, good luck to them. So, a little bit further completed. Just got to fill that space in now with some of that leftover shiplap and sort out some roofing felt. Okay, so the window's filled in now. In hindsight, I might have done it the other way around and put the wood that side, but too late now. Right, time for some more wood treatment and the roofing felt. See you later. Well, the felt's on. 2 coats of wood treatment later. Just a little bit wet. We have basically just gained one standard garden shed. Big deal, you say? Well, from now on we can start to turn it into a brew shed from a garden shed. Well, now we just have an ordinary bog standard shed with a slightly improved roof. We have to move on to thinking about condensation when we're brewing, and electric, water, and some way of keeping some of the external environment out of the internal part of the shed. What I normally do is use a material called vapor barrier, which basically looks like a green polythene, but it's a breathable membrane, and normally you'd obviously line that on the outside of a frame and then put your cladding on, but of course obviously this is a pre-made shed. We'll be stapling it to the inside of the walls just to cover those. Certain parts on the walls we'll need to put a timber frame across. Ideally, if you had the time and money, you could line the whole inside out, but I have nor the money to buy the timber nor the need. I'm just going to put it where I think I need it, and use whatever I've got. The whole idea of this was to basically use materials up and do this as cheaply as possible, and so far it's cost me £21 because I've had to buy a new roll of roofing felt. The other stuff I had is damaged. So far that's not a bad budget, is it? 21 quid for an 8x6 shed. The wood I already had, screws, nails, plastic sheeting, everything else I've had kicking around, so basically this is just using up some of my crap. So let's use some more up. Right, to make this job easy you need a trimming knife and ideally an electric stapler. Works. And of course the vapor barrier, which is triple folded. So let's have some fun. Well, basically, got to go around the whole lot and do that. Well, basically we have just sealed ourselves completely in a plastic surround. Everything is covered in vapor barrier. Now this is breathable. I've never had any problems with mould or condensation with any of this stuff, which is why I use it. Normally I don't go around the roof line, but it seemed pointless cutting it off. If there's a problem, then I'll just cut it off and Just leave it round the sides, and that enables any moisture that builds up behind there can wick down and out of the way. As I said, ideally you'd have this on the outside and the cladding over that, but because of the way sheds are already pre-constructed, there's no way to do that. Right, we've moved on a little bit further. I found some laminate flooring left over from a job. I thought I'd utilise it in here. It's not going to be any good for anything else, and it doesn't really matter in here that we've got plywood and laminate. It does the job, as they say. But as I suspected, my HLT, currently a Burco boiler, sitting on top of there, is going to hit that. Well, not hit it, it won't even get up there, which I did suspect. Certainly by the time I go for a kegel, there's no chance. That won't even fit in the existing shed. So we'll just have to rework that. At the minute I'm just getting the tables in just to have a jiggle round and see where things can go in relation to practicalities. Then I can work out where I need power points and ventilation. And then we'll pretty much be there. It'll just be the electrics. Putting a light up here somewhere. Anyway, I can hear my stomach grumbling. That's never a good thing.